All right, all you devils, how's it going out there? Happy Friday. Oh, here we are, February 3rd, just coming up on 1 o'clock. All right, so we're going to take a quick peek here at Bitcoin. Not a lot of change since last week. I'm probably thinking get over to ETH, and we'll look at the S&P as well here. So now I'm going to keep this relatively brief. We're going to try and shorten up these videos here. I tend to ramble on. But we're going to keep them shorter here. The long detail, all the detailed Elliott here, we'll have that over on the Discord and amongst members. But for YouTube subs here, some of the feedback I'm getting is like, okay, man, this is great, but fuck, these videos are too long. So I'm gonna try and keep them shorter. It's kind of hard for me to do it. I never feel like I'm just rambling on, but I am. So I'm going to try and condense these down here. So we haven't had a dramatic change. I mean, we're somewhere in here last Friday, still working off of the idea we have a candidate. We just that. We have a candidate for a good low here. Market is, I mean, this is encouraging, right? But we can lean into this a little bit heavier. If we get a nice little retrace here, we perhaps come down and test some of the support. You can see it in the volume profile. And then if we kick here into a 5, well, then we start to lean a little bit heavier into the potential, right? And it would only be that. It would only be potential if the low is here. And this is not the prettiest low I've ever seen. But if we do have a low here for the major 2, no, sure. Right, from the pivot high up here at the 1, if this is our 2, okay, well, we're starting with, I mean, per wave projections, this would be the 1 of the 1, right? So in terms of where this potentially could be going. So if this is the 2, one thing I can say for sure, this is not going to be the 3, right? This might be the 3 of the 1 of the 3 for all we know. Right, but we are in unusual times, right? Let's see, 5 years I've been doing this. This is about as, it's odd. I mean, just in mainstream media is so negative on crypto. I'm inclined to think, boy, what a great time to be buying. But we got to make that distinction between crypto and Bitcoin, right? There's a very clear distinction between the two. Boy, is crypto out of favor, right? I mean, it is about as out of favor again as I've seen it in 5 years of doing this. So what's hot right now? Of course, artificial intelligence, AI is what's hot, right? So crypto was the hot thing. It's not so hot anymore, right? FTX did a lot of damage. God, they did a lot of damage, that motherfucker. Right? But, it didn't do as much damage as you might have assumed to Bitcoin, right? If this is the FTX collapse and it puts in a bottom, well, fuck him, right? I hope he misses all of this and spends a lot of time in jail. So anyway, I digress. Here I am digressing, and I'm supposed to be just working on the TA. I'm going to keep this simple. It's kind of hard for me to be simple because, this is my chart, right? So of course it's going to have some Elliott on it. It's not. You see, the thing with the Elliott, it's not essential, right? You don't have to use it, right? I mean, a lot of people don't like it. I mean, they just go, it's way too fucking complicated. Why am I doing all this? What does it matter? Why do I need to do this? Right? Isn't it easier to just, I got some supply demand and a couple of moving averages? Yes, that's easier. Yes, right? Many people do it quite successfully. I think there's an advantage to it when it's clear, right? And it's not always clear. Is this clear, Elliott? Well, absolutely not. This could so easily turn into something else, right? And that's always the knock on it. It's like, motherfucker, right? You told me it was this, and now it's that. Well, okay, that's not dramatically different than if you had a couple of trend lines on here and some moving averages. The advantage of Elliott here is that we get these patterns based on human emotion that are prone to repeat. So if we get this completed 5 up here, if we get this completed 5, well, we can't, unfortunately, we can't just lock and load on, low is in, there's a 1. We can't in terms of applying the Elliott Wave Theory, because you can almost see right here as we sit in this zone here. This okay, perhaps this is all accumulation. Perhaps why crypto is so out of favor. This is just a lot of accumulation, Everybody's focused on traditional assets. The stock market is on a tear, right? And how are we doing today? Still, right? I mean, even with that jobs report, the market initially, right? You're thinking, oh God, it's going to dump hard. Market shakes it off. Market wants to go up, right? Market always wants to go up, right? That never changes. Better for business, better for everybody if markets are going up, right? There has to be a real strong reason for them to be going down. And right now, markets are saying, fuck the Fed, right? It's animal spirits, right? We call it what you will, enthusiasm. It's every data point is being spun into something positive. The market is interpreting it as positive, right? Oh, well, it's not as bad as we thought, so the market can rally. Oh, it was bad, but it could have been worse, so the market's going to rally. Oh, it was good, so the market's going to rally. It's just rally. Market always wants to go up. Always. Never forget that, right? It always wants to go up. A place that's really uncomfortable is when you need the market to go down. That's a very uncomfortable place to be as a trader. Now, some people, they love it. They thrive it. They're just short sellers. Personally, I hate to be rooting for the market to go down, which is why I'm so rarely ever on here talking about selling Bitcoin. I never want to be going, oh, come on, crater. I mean, certainly that's partly influenced by the amount of crypto or Bitcoin that I've accumulated over the years. But I'm assuming anybody watching here has got a decent amount of Bitcoin, right? And so I always make that distinction between the Bitcoin you're holding that you'd never, you'd have to pry it out of my cold dead hands. I'd be willing it for generations. I have Bitcoin. I would never sell. Never. I don't care where it goes. I'm never selling it. Then there's trading capital. Make that distinction, right? So what's setting up here, I see a potential if this plays here, we come down for this 4 into this area. Oh my God, what a beautiful technical setup. Now, does that mean that we're not going to do this? Of course not, right? It's just there's a trade setting up there, which is at the end of the day, isn't that what we're doing here? Looking for a trade setting up where we can define, at least in our own minds, the perception that we have an edge, right? That's all you ever get is perception in your own mind that you have an edge. Otherwise, why would you take the trade, right? It's 50-50. 50-50 odds, right? You can say, well, 50, it's going to go up or it's going to go down. Well, I wish that it were that easy, right? Yeah, over time, yeah, that's true. It's either going to go up or it's going to go down. You can buy it and hold it and probably be okay with something like Bitcoin. But as traders, what we're looking for are those opportunities here where we can juice it a bit. So if we get this move here, I don't know if this is going to happen, but 21 to 26, okay, that's a nice looking trade. Now, again, do we know that if this 5 completes here, that we're off to the races and the low is in? Definitely not, right? You can. If you know a little Elliott here, you and again, it's as simple as 5s and 3s. You can look at this whole thing here, this accumulation here, which is this range that we're sitting in. We can look at this and say, well, wait a minute. This is not the best looking start from an Elliott perspective. You can see a path here. Well, this could be a 5. This is definitely a 3. And we got a 5 here. So why couldn't we have some sort of a flat here? Well, we absolutely could, right? This could all just be corrective. We're going to come up here. We're going to complete this 5, A, B, C. And guess what that implies, right? Not that it's inevitable. That implies the next move down. Does that mean short it here? No, that's not what I'm saying. Fucking 5 years of doing videos, rarely have I ever said time to be selling Bitcoin, right? Now, some people hold that against me. But I come back to same thing in the stock market. I never want to be in that position where, God, I need it to go down. I need it. Come on, crash, crater. I don't like that position. And the majority of the time, the market goes up, right? So when you're in that position, you're fighting the net. You're saying, I want to keep this balloon under the water. I'm going to keep it under there, but eventually it's going to come up. This is just based off of my own experience, right? Take it for what you will. All right. Well, there's so much for the Elliott. All right, now you could take it all off here and you could just put a couple of moving averages on here and you focus on market structure. Okay, well, where's the supply? Where's the potential supply overhead? Where's the potential demand? Well, it's not hard to spot. And see, you use something like Sonar Labs, right, which is going to identify the order blocks up here, where we can identify likely we've got bears and bulls here. we can certainly look here and say, well, everybody on the planet knows that there's stops up there, and we know that there's stops up here. So you can kind of see this here saying, okay, we got a little more here. We're going to grab that liquidity, bring it down for the 4, right? To fuck these guys, right? And then we go up and complete the 5, and we end up with this. Well, if we get that, right, then it becomes a matter of, okay, well, I've got a completed 5, so I can anticipate, not short the hell out of it. I can anticipate likely there's some corrective pattern coming here. That's just the way the market tends to move. And that's the advantage of Elliott, right? These tendencies, not certainties, tendencies. Because if this is an ABC, it would be easy to be thinking, oh, ABC is in, and so I've got 1, 2, and it's time to get long and strong, right? Well, possibly. But the downside, right? And it wouldn't matter if you're using Elliott or not, right? This could easily be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now we've done an ABC here, and now we're going lower, right? Now, so then the 5 and the 3 and the next 5 are what you're anticipating. But that doesn't change, right? So think of it, if it's A, B, and you're trading the C, right? So this is what we do in our purple belt, right? You want to get a purple belt, you got to trade only C's and 3s. So you could take that short. But what if it turns into a 3, right? You might be looking for something more via the C. Maybe your view is it's A, B, C into the X's over here, and now we're going down, right? So you can get yourself on the right side of the market. Again, I don't like to be hoping the market goes lower. Just my own personal preference, right? Bias, preference, call it what you will. So what we're focused on here is, how do we trade this shit? How do we do it? How do we do it? How do we organize this? What is all this? How do otherwise, like, that's the whole point of Elliott, trying to organize the chaos into patterns that tend to repeat. Is this easy, Elliott? Absolutely not. Bitcoin has always been challenging, Elliott. It's challenging, right? You got so many variables at play in here, but the basic patterns are here. They're here. Let's pull this back out, right? Let's go to the out here to the daily. Right now, here I'm out of log, right? So this is where you really think, oh shit, man, okay, out of log. Now note here, I'm on BitGet here, which is our sponsor, right? I always forget to mention that, right? BitGet, great exchange, right? They sponsor us here. So here, but I don't have all the history. So if this is a 1 and we're going into the 2, well, if you're out of log scale, boy, that sure looks like, well, what else could it be? Well, put in log scale, and it starts to look a little bit different, right? And here's our COVID low. Okay, 1, 2. Is it there, right? Is it 3, 3, 3, 3, 3? ABC, 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 right? Very easy to say, oh shit, okay, well, you can talk yourself into that. Is this a good low, right? Is the FTX low? Is that it, right? Now we can run? Well, it's certainly possible. Certainly possible. So much for keeping this shorter. Okay, right. So right now, the opportunity here, if we think about where we are here, we've got a really nice, we've got a really nice looking possible 1, 2 here. Oh, here, let's get it out of log. Right. So when we get the range here, we're looking from 15K, still a pretty big range. But if we focus in here, and we say, okay, it's 1, 2, 3. Well, here's the 2618, which would be a good extension for a 3, right? So it gives you a candidate. And is there a clear? Oh, well, we don't have this, right? We don't have a nice 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, we don't have that. All right, do we need that? Not really. I did say last week, I much prefer, and again, this just comes from doing this for a long time. 1, 2. I don't want to go 3, 4, 5. I don't want to do that, right? So because this looks more like a 3 to me. It doesn't really bother me that I can't really dig out the separation here. The 1, 2, 3 to a 2618. I'll live with that. I'm fine with that. I don't really care about the subdivision. What I'm waiting for is this to come back down here and test this, right? That's the whole point of being a retracement trader, is that rather than buy the breakouts and go, fuck, I hope it goes. I hope it goes. I hope I don't get bent over here and this was just a liquidity grab. When the market's coming down, well, what, right? This is a harder trade to take. Oh, it's coming down. I can't buy it. It's coming down. Or is it just being put on sale, right? It's all how you look at it. Oh man, the momentum's come down. Oh, I can't buy it. Oh, now it's going up. Okay, now it's safe, right? That's what retail does, right? Oh, I should, retail. Maybe that's the wrong way to say it, right? But that's what the inexperienced trader will do. Wait. Oh, okay. Oh, it's safe now. Right? That's not uncommon, right? And the harsh reality of trading is experienced traders need inexperienced traders to do that. They haven't learned that yet. So, okay, so they get one once, right? So all it takes is once. Well, you buy a breakout and it runs, and you'll buy every breakout forever. You'll never forget it, right? It'll be in your brain. Oh, I remember that one time back in 23. Fuck, the Bitcoin was going, and whoo, it really ran, right? So I'm a breakout trader. Well, I've played that game. Right. I mean, again, I've been doing this for a very long time, and I've watched when I was a broker. That was the advantage of being a broker. I watched hundreds and hundreds of people trade, and what were they doing? Who was successful? Who wasn't? Well, the vast majority were not. Right. That's the soul crushing part of that business. Right. You just see people lose money over and over and over again until finally you go, oh fuck, I got to get out of this. Right. Because who's getting paid regardless of their success? The broker. Right. So it's soul crushing. Anyway, I digress here. So. Okay, so here's a 3, here's a possible 5. We don't know. Is it good? Bad? It's better than we're doing a 5 down. Okay, so I got a candidate here. Where's the next trade? If this thing comes down here and we get a little 3 and we come right, it's right in the pocket here. If this is the 2, we say, let's get my wave 4 on here. Oh, where are you? Wave 4 here. All right, between the 23, 38, we got the 50 down here. We look here, the 30. Look at the channeling. Oh my God, right? If we come in right here, that's one to really think about taking a piece. You got a good target up here. There's going to be liquidity up here. The market's going to want to get there and test that liquidity, and then you're going to have this over here, right? Look at the air pocket over here. Right, low volume here. So you can, one of two things happens, right? We either get up here and we get rejected, or we go through it like butter, right? And we go up here to the next supply zone here where we know this is up here. We know we got an order block up here. That's going to be resistance. Well, what else, of course, right? What else we got to deal with? We got to contend with. Let's use the last significant pivot. Oh, look at you. Love that, right? We got to get through this, right? So you can almost see like, oh, look how this lines up here. Now, is the X over here, and we did an ABC into the 2, and we've got, oh, look at this. We're gonna pop. I'm assuming I don't need to. We know there's going to be resistance there. That doesn't mean that it can't get through, right? It just means that, oh, wouldn't that? Boy, it sure does finish nicely here if we get this. Again, that does not mean sell it there. That means, right, if you're a bull, expect to get a little, have the ride be bumpy here. Can we get through? Well, this wouldn't be a bad thing. Because now, right, you don't know if it's 1, 2, 3 and we're going down, or if it's ABC. Well, you never know. But at least I've got an edge. See, that's the whole point of the Elliott. I believe in my own mind I've got an edge here. If I get an A, B, and I get a C. Okay, I've got a... Come here. All right, I believe I've got an edge. Now, as a trader, you can say, well, who fuck, right? What matters here is that you're comfortable taking the trade, because there has to be some discomfort here. It can't be like, oh, I know I'm going to win. I know there's going to be a winner. So you've got to feel like you've got the slightest edge. Okay, I've got a pattern here I recognize. So maybe I don't want to try and pick the turn. I'll take that's the whole point of it. Organize the chaos, right? Now, again, the feedback we're starting to get is like, oh man, fuck, this is my grandfather was doing this shit. This is from the 1930s. I don't want to do this Elliott shit anymore. It's too hard. It's too much this, that, too subjective. Okay, right? I get that. I don't disagree. If you can use it to your advantage, great. We can teach you how to do it, right? That's the whole point of our course, our membership, is to teach you how to do this yourself, not to rely on me or anyone else. Exchange ideas with other people who kind of like this, right? What are we really doing? We're looking at a puzzle here. We're trying to solve it. Can we solve it with these rules and guidelines? Some people go, well, who fucking cares, right? I got a trend line here. It broke. I've got an impulse. I got a channel. If I get a retracement, do I need all this Elliott wave? Do I need all these numbers and letters? What a pain in the ass. I mean, to some traders, it means you got an edge, right? To others, it's just a giant pain in the ass. Why go to all that trouble? Why can't I just work with some lines and some moving averages? Well, no one's saying you can't. Something to think about, right? Do you want to do this? Do you want to get in, dig this deep? I don't know, right? It's up to you. Here, let's go. Geez, so much for being brief. Let's go over to ETH, right? Which is teed up here, possible, right? Still remains a possible 4 here from the 1, 2, 3. What am I? Geez, I don't know what the hell am I cracking, but here I am. Okay, got a 1. I got a candidate. Could this be an ABC? Well, maybe, right? Well, okay. What? Right, do we think we have an edge here? Sure looks like it. Sure looks like you got a good start to this low here, right? Oh, I got a 5. Is that that's not a great looking 3. Maybe I got some sort of you can't have a triangle, but let's get some here. Looks like you got a, that's not great here. 3, 4, 5, right? Okay, here's where you get, this is where you got to make a decision here about, okay, I can't quite get a perfect little ABC here. I can't get it. Okay, so do I not take the trade? I don't see a perfect little ABC. Okay, that's why I'm not a purist, because I will look at this and go, okay, close enough. Right? If we could this be a 1, 2, or how could we do this here? Again, does it really matter here? If we bring it down here at this point, does it really matter how we label this? Do we have a truncation in the 2? Okay, truncation is not what you want to find. Well, I don't see another way to do it, right? It's almost, you got to do this as a diag. You're kind of stuck with it. Excuse me, you're kind of stuck with it. But if you were uncomfortable here, because fuck, that doesn't quite look like a good, it looks like a 5. Yeah, it does. Okay, but once we start to go here, okay, so maybe you missed this one because you were caught up down here going, I don't see the 3, all right? So and then shit, and there it goes. Okay, well now is that the end of the world? Well, okay, sure, 1 got away. You're not going to get them all. But do I have something here that starts to look like, okay, this is starting to look like something I can recognize and I can put some structure to. This sure looks 4-ish. Looks like we've got one more little kick here. You can almost see it coming out of there. Oh, okay. Whatever this is, it almost doesn't matter, right? God damn it. Come here. I've got some sort of a little, sure looks like some sort of little 5 wants to finish here. That might give me that 3. Okay, same as Bitcoin, right? So what's next, right? Do I think I have an edge here if I get this? Yes is the answer. I think I have an edge here. That doesn't mean that a market can do whatever right? It just means if I get here, I'm more comfortable trading here because I see something I recognize. The chaos all of a sudden starts to show me something I can identify. And I know it's a pattern that is prone to repeating. That doesn't mean it always repeats. It just means it's prone to, so I can take something here and I'm not... You can stick to a plan here and say, I'm a retracement trader. I like to trade off of that 3. I don't pick the pivot, but I'll take the first little reaction off of it here if I get a little 1, 2 here. Then you're trading comfortably. It's like, okay, I follow it. I see it. Doesn't mean it's a winner. It just means I'm trading comfortably. And if I consistently work this way, that there are going to be those that are going to play because, again, God knows how many gazillion of Elliott Wave impulses have completed. It's an unknown number, but we can recognize it when we see it. So right here, I have an edge in my own mind. No idea what the outcome is, but it's an edge that makes me comfortable putting money at risk, which is that's all we're doing. Do I have an edge here? I think I do. We'll see. We'll see what happens here. But right, so right now with a crypto, can I get a retrace here to frame up a 3-4 and give me the candidate for the 5? What you're not anticipating is this. We're not anticipating, it's just going to keep going. I mean, we got a target up here, but are we going to get there here? Probably not. Probably not just going to go in a straight line up to 4,400. Probably not. So what's probable? Probable is that we get some sort of a little ABC comes out of this. Oh, okay. Whoa, now I know where I am. Now this one could get there. This one could get there because that's the big 3, right? So I organize this in my mind. I say, okay, I got a 1, I got a 2, I hit this degree. Oh, I got another 5. 5, 3, 5, 3. That's the whole name of the game, right? It's not that fucking complicated. Yeah, the corrections get difficult, and you have to want to be able to do it because this is a little puzzle. Oh, is that a triangle? Is that a 5? You have to want to be able to do that. If you don't want to be able to do that, then we're not the place for you to come learn, right? This is a skill. This is a skill that you develop over time, right? If you're not interested, I get that, man. I really do, right? I understand. And here I'm trying to de-emphasize this. I don't know how to be perfectly honest. It's hard for me to do it. All my charts look the same. So here, right, we looked at this, and I'm over to the S&P. We've looked at this a couple of weeks in a row. This looks like drop dead in your face. Like I have a pretty good idea where that's going. I mean, I trade this every day, right? Over in the futures market, this is where I'm trading, right? We have a whole nother business outside of what we do over here teaching Elliott Wave, where we don't use any Elliott Wave. Right, so here, but I can look at this. I'm out here on the daily. I can go 5, 3, 5, 3, 5. Okay, do these things happen? Right, so what do I have here? 5, 3, 5, 3, 5. Okay, so what have I got? I've got a diagonal. I've got a 5, 3, 5, 3, 5 leading diagonal. What does that imply to me? Right, does it mean the low's in and we're off to the moon? Well, market can do anything, but what this implies to me is that per this setup here, there is another leg down. But you can see the target here. Look at this. Look at the confluence. Again, I'm not saying we're going to come up here, pivot, and then we're going to drop through the floor. I'm just saying, look at the confluence there. So I have an 80% probability of getting there. I'm coming off of I've got an algo that is driving this from right here, right? Here we're in between. There's an order block sitting right there as well. Right? So I've got this order block here that we came down and tapped the discount zone on. Now we're starting to come out of this. So I have a corner pocket. I know. I don't have to wonder. I've got 80% probability of getting there. Now, 80% is not 100%, but that's 80% that I get there. And what's sitting there? I got an algo target. Where's the algo target? Sitting in the golden zone from the pivot high to the pivot low. That's a lot of confluence. A lot of confluence. Market came in today, right? I was bullish from the beginning, not because I have a crystal ball or I have some special powers. I can look at this and go, market wants to get there. So even though we get that big report, now what's the market doing? Well, we're at the IB low here. It was probable that we were going to shake that off, and now on a Friday, you got options expiration, all sorts of shit going on behind the scenes, right? To where's the max pain, right? Where are market makers trying to get the most amount of options to expire worthless? And some of that's going on right now. Might be why we're selling off here towards we're not that far down, the IB low. But this has a high probability of getting here. So if I take this, I'm going to take this to 15 minutes so you can just see how consistently this happens, right? It doesn't matter what time frame we are. We throw out the Elliott here. It's just one measured move after the next. Let me get them on. You could trade doing nothing but this. Right? It's just one after the next. Here, if one breaks, you're going to go back. Here's 50 to the tick. Here we get target. Here we get target. I should have been more organized with this. All right, here I'm going down to the 15, so this is all getting a little bit wonky. All right. Golden zone, here's the target. Right, it just does this over and over and over again. You don't need any Elliott Wave over here, which is why we don't apply it when we're day trading. I don't need to count this. All I need to do is see this, and I know what's probable. I got a very low risk trade here. What comes off of it? A 5. Look. What comes off of it? A 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What comes off of that 5? 1, 2, 3. Where do we go? Golden zone. What comes off of that? Another 5. What comes off of that? Another 3. What comes off of that? Another 5. 5s and 3s. That is the brilliance of Elliott Wave. Now you can simplify it down to that and just go, can I see a 5 here? Do I see a 3 here? Oh, this is all fucked up, right? Because I went from a daily to a 15-minute, right? I can clean that up. All right, but the bottom line here is that right now, if we're applying Elliott Wave, there's a very real possibility, not certainty, very real possibility that we're going up here to finish this, tag that median line, hit that golden zone, algo is going to fire, one algo is going to hit its target, the other one's going to start selling, and we're going down here. That's a very, very real possibility. Let's take this one off here. I'll get all these guys. Very, very real possibility that we're coming up here. Jesus, I mean, can it get any sexier than that? Oh my God, right? If you're into TA, that's your big O right there. It doesn't get any better than that. In terms of what we teach, right? That is the trifecta. That is massive TA big O right there. If you tag the median line at the, Jesus, right? Does that happen? I don't know, but that's one if you hit that, right, take a picture. Right, that's as good as it gets. Now, what's the implication there? The implication there is that if we start to pivot there, where's that algo got a target? And then what would be happening here? The 5, 3, right? If this is going to be a 3, if this is the A, this is the B, and this is the C. Okay, I got a 3. I had a 5. Now I got a 3. Now what am I looking for? Another 5 down. Right? Where's the target? Right? And okay, wait a second. Last piece here, and then I got to get out of here. So much for shorter videos. God, it's hard for me to do it. It really is. I came in saying, okay, I'm going to do a 10-minute video. I can't do it. It's really just hard for me. Right? I have to work on that. Right? So what am I going to have here? Golden corner. Where's the target? Right here. Right? Do you see how you can start to put some of this stuff together? If I get here, right, and I start to turn, what does that mean? It means I've got an 80% probability of getting here. 80. Now you could look at that and say, okay, well, right, let's be real here. Okay, right. So if we start coming back the other direction, wouldn't I have the same thing here? You absolutely would. You'd have that same 80% here that you're going to come back this direction. This is the battle between the algos, right? This is why they don't care, because they're going to get one side. They will get one. If they get stopped out of one, they'll get the other side. They don't care, right? They make so much money on either direction, it doesn't matter to them. But you'll have the same 80% probability here, right? So one of these is going to hit, one is going to fail. Welcome to trading, right? So you go, well, fuck, man, what do I do? How do I know? Well, that's where the Elliott comes in. Oh, well, shit, 5, 3. Well, what do I get here? Do I get a 5 or do I get a 3? Do I get a 5? Do I get a 5? Oh, what does that imply? Oh, that implies I got to have another 3. Oh, shit. Is that a 1, 2? Oh, what does that imply? That means I got to have another 5. Oh, shit. Is that it? Oh, we done? A, B, C? Nope. We got to finish with a 5. Maybe one more leg. Maybe we're going to go second target. So you look at it and you go, how the hell is that going to happen with the market doing what it's doing lately? Well, I have absolutely no idea. I'm just telling you what the patterns will imply. So likely some sort of macro event would cause that. Fuck, maybe our government is dumb enough to default on the debt. Maybe that's what drives it down. We are that stupid. We could do it easily. I don't think we will. Right? We've never done it before, but with this crew, we've got fighting with each other. And again, I'm not being political here. I'm just saying the potential for something significant, because you'd have to think, well, how would the market fall that hard? Some macro event? Yeah. Some government, as I said last week, who could do that, right? Oh, the government could certainly fuck things up, right? So again, I don't ever want to be in a position where I need the market to go down, where I'm rooting for it to go down. So I would be trading all of this, looking for where's the upside here? Because, right, if I get here, what could that be? Could that be the A? Oh, I'm going to trade the B. Right? That's the whole idea, right? Just try and give yourself some sense of confidence, some sense of edge, some use of these tools that have been proven to be effective for a long time. Long time. You want to use these? You want to stick with the easy shit? Oh, the easy shit. That's so much. Fuck. Why do I have to worry about what a fucking triple combo is? A double sharp flat. Why do you have to worry about that? That's the choice you got to make for yourself, right? As to whether you're into this or not. You either love the puzzle or you hate the puzzle, and you say fuck the puzzle. You don't need it, but it will help you if you put the time in. All right, good God, that's a long video for someone who's trying to make a short video. Okay, well, it's 33. That's, for me, that's short. All right, I'm going to wrap it there. I'm going to try and do these shorter. I think next week what I'll try and do is I'll just make them 3 videos, right? So if you hate these long videos, tell me you hate them. Tell me, listen, man, make them 3 10-minute videos rather than 1 30-minute, right? I get on a roll. It's hard for me to stop. Okay, guys, have a good weekend. And look, oh shit, we've got new website launching. You're going to see a lot of new stuff from us this year, right? Time to change things up. I've been doing this for 5 years. We're going to start mixing some things up, changing, right? The market's changing. What people want is changing. Time for us to adapt to that. So while this will always be what my chart is going to look like, we're going to maybe de-emphasize some of this and just make it more palatable. If you want to dig into this stuff, well, that's what the belt system for. All right, guys, have a very good weekend, and we will catch you next week.